Today. These are limited time offers and can change at any time. Call fast. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the West Coast, it's time for Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Hey, yo.
For over 30 years, and still, your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
You know what? As long as she fights at 135 pounds, I don't care if she's injecting a horse demon into her eyeballs.
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization. And now, live from the Ring Talk Studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history, Pedro Fernandez.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the multi-million-dollar Sports Byline Studios in San Francisco, California. Yes, the man was correct in that lofty introduction. My name is Pedro Fernandez, the often imitated but never duplicated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the radio airways, folks, having defended that belt, get this, better than 35 years. And straight up today, we're talking boxing and mixed martial arts for 2 hours, live on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel, folks, all around the world on TuneIn.com, Stitcher.com. I can keep going, but wow, we don't have enough time to talk about all our internet platforms. The bottom line is, we're talking mixed martial arts and boxing for the next 2 hours. Open phone lines all around the planet. Join me if you like. This is your show. 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. Of course, the guilt-free, no commitment text line, hot and happening. To text us in the studio, 415-275-1613. That's 415-275-1613. Johnny Sig is in the house. Larry Merchant is in the house. We'll hear from Muhammad Ali and the great Dave Meltzer on boxing, MMA, and, of course, professional wrestling as well. As I said, an action-packed 2 hours live on Sports Byline and Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Once again, the toll-free, 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. And the guilt-free, no-commitment studio text line, 415-275-1613. That's 415-275-1613. You're tuned to Ring Talk live on Sports Byline and Sirius XM Satellite Radio.
I was good to me wrong. I ain't playing hard for nobody. Girl, just wait till I get you home. I'll show you the way to love somebody.
The decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
We have a new heavyweight champion of the world.
Valentine's Day is brutal on us guys. The pressure to buy the perfect gift is intense, right? Flowers are always the right call, but here's where it gets dicey. If you show up with produce department flowers that smell like green onions, you're toast. Same with sending stale flowers plus an upsell balloon from some flower giant website. The Bouquets is the ticket. That's short for bouquets, and these flowers are bouqueting awesome. Look, there's a huge difference between flowers from the Bouquets and the others, and trust me, she knows it. Bouquets delivers spectacular flowers cut fresh from the finest farms in the world. They even have farms on the side of a volcano that produce the most amazing flowers ever. Bouquets are picked fresh and shipped direct, so they stay fresher longer. And Bouquets cuts out the middleman, so you save big time. Be a hero this Valentine's Day with flowers from the Bouquets. Go to Bouquets.com. That's BOUQS.com and enter the code RON for 20% off. Yeah, 20% off when you enter RON at BOUQS.com.
And now today's Bob Evans foodie lesson, nostalgic eating. Did you know there's a strong link between sense and emotional memory? The smell of different foods can evoke vivid and detailed emotional memories of our past. For example, the scent of a deep-fried corn dog may remind us of a state fair in the summer. Because odor-evoked memories tend to be positive, the smell improves the mood and produces feelings of social connectedness. And now a word from Bob Evans.
You're the family chef, but with homework, practices, email, getting a good meal on the table is tough. Sometimes the best choice is the easy choice. Delicious Bob Evans mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, made with ingredients like real milk, butter, potatoes, and cheese. Bob Evans sides are ready in the microwave in 6 minutes, and they're the perfect complement to any meal. Once your family tries them, it'll be love at first bite. Get Bob Evans sides today in the refrigerated section at your favorite grocery store.
Bob Evans down on the farm.
Are you wasting hundreds of dollars each year on contact lenses? Would you like to be able to see clearly again without reading glasses? Make the smart choice with IQ Laser Vision. Their team has performed over 150,000 LASIK and SMILE procedures, and with 11 locations on the West Coast and special out-of-town packages, there is a solution just right for you. See why they have a 5-star rating on Yelp. Check out IQLaserVision.com. That's IQLaserVision.com.
IQ Laser Vision.
You want to say Cassius Clay when Howard Cosell and everybody is calling him Muhammad Ali? Then why you got to be the one of all people whose color to keep saying Cassius Clay? My name is Muhammad Ali, and you will announce it right there in the center of that ring after the fight if you don't do it now.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Who's with me? I know you're in. How about you? You're in? You're in? You're in? 12 and a half minutes past the hour. This is hour number 1 of 2 of Ring Talk Live Worldwide on Sports Byline and Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Glad to join the Dan Patrick channel 211 of Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Of course, Dan and I go back about 35 years. That's how old we both are. You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Ring Talk Live Worldwide. As I said, hour number 1. We'll talk about the UFC in depth. Of course, the UFC went down to Australia. Usually it's a big deal when they go to Australia, but guess what? The main event fell out, and the guy that was in the main event was from Australia. So the fight card sort of sucked. If you paid to watch UFC 234 last night on a pay-per-view, you got screwed. Bottom line is the UFC's got to develop an app and go in that direction, because if they don't, I think they're just taking advantage of fight fans month in and month out. We'll talk about that in depth a little bit later in the show. Now let's take it to Las Vegas, Nevada, and bring in the undefeated lad. I'm talking about Mr. Johnny Signorella. Johnny, great weekend of boxing.
Yeah, man, the Zone had it going out last night, 15-1 underdog. Andrew Cancio knocked out Alberto Machado in the 4th round. Cancio down in round 1, rallied back and floored Machado 3 times en route to the stoppage. Awesome, wild one from the Zone in California, Pedro.
Yeah, it was rocking and rolling. I was on the edge of my seat. I was digging it. Listen, folks, what's happening with these fight cards is the fact that the Zone and different apps and things like that are showing these fight cards in their entirety. I mean, you get to see the guys that are maybe undeserving of any television attention whatsoever in prelims. So you get to, it's sort of like, Johnny, it's the same thing like going to a fight card and buying a fight ticket and going to the early matches.
Yes, sir. You get it from doors open, as we call it, right? 5:30, doors open. You get to see the first fight all the way to the last one, you know. And last night was an entertaining night. I had a lot of fun watching that fight. And that's a metaphor for what we love in boxing, man. Getting yourself off the mat. You know, just like as it is in life when you go through tough times, get yourself off the mat. Mr. Tyson Fury knows about that and win. So Andrew Cancio last night, very, very impressive victory. Jojo Diaz on the undercard took out Charles Harper via unanimous decision in 10. Looked impressive. And also we had a good card on Showtime last night.
No. Oh, you're shilling. You must be shilling. Did Al Heyman send you some money to say that?
No, he didn't, but here's what's up. I dug the undercard. I had fun with the undercard. I was going to go there in a second. Now, we had a late replacement with Hugo Ruiz last night, you know, replacing Abner Mares, who's apparently falling apart, detached retina. His arms are falling off. It's like, poor Abner Mares, I have no idea what's going on with you, son. Hopefully you get better soon. But on the undercard, Mario Barrios and Richard Zamora, that was a fun fight for 4 rounds, man. Barrios taking out Richard Zamora in 4 rounds. And Mario landed 60% of his power punches, a super impressive display of volume punching. And then also, Ishe Smith got knocked out in 4 rounds against Erickson Lubin, also on Showtime's undercard. Ishe gets clipped on the ear, equilibrium's off, can't recover. fun night on Showtime for the most part.
Ishii Smith, probably one of the most, he's, how can I put this? He's an overperformer considering his talent levels. I've always thought that.
You know, I got to give him all the props in the world. He always tries to show up. He always gives his best, you know, and he is an overachiever. His skill is not that great, but he always shows up. Even last night, you know, he tried so hard. You could tell, like, once he got clipped on the ear, that he was not able to steady his legs, that he was certainly rocked. But he still kept trying until the corner threw in the towel, rightfully so, because that fight was not going to go anywhere but bad places.
The WBC 122-pound champion Ray Vargas was in action last night. He got dropped, but he came back to win. I still think the WBO guy, I think he's the dark horse in this. Emmanuel Navarrete, 26-1. I think he's tall, he's lanky, he's got attitude. He sort of fights a little combination of a little Mike Tyson, a little Roberto Duran, a little Pernell Whitaker, put it all together. He's got attitude, and I think he's got ability.
Well, you know what? We saw him dog, right? I mean, Navarrete came to fight in that last fight, and that's what I love to see. Good TV-friendly style. Doesn't really take off much during the fight, meaning he doesn't really take a break. He constantly puts pressure on you. He throws punches at you. He breaks people down. And that's the type of fighter I love to watch. It's excellent for TV. And that's an interesting weight class there, man. Like you said, Ray Vargas. You know, you got Jesse Magdaleno there, TJ Dahoney. You know, you got some good guys there. So let's see where he goes, Navarrete, with his next move. Should be interesting.
Okay, of course. Speaking of the convention jinx, of course, Sergey Kovalev regained the WBO light heavyweight title, basically shutting out Eleider Alvarez over last week. Were you surprised that Alvarez just didn't have any drive, or what was going on with that guy? Lack of motivation, or what?
Man, did he lay an egg or what? I tell you what, I think that has a little bit to do with it. I mean, you know, Kovalev did look good, but I just think Alvarez did not come to fight at 100%. You know, it looks like he was just waiting for, like, that moment where he could counter and rock Sergey like he did in the first fight, or have Kovalev fatigue like he did in the first fight. Now, Kovalev did fatigue down the stretch, maintained, but fatigued, and Alvarez never took advantage, never took the risks necessary. It's weird when you see a guy KO someone in their first fight and just do nothing in the rematch. Very odd.
He was handcuffed. Back to Mr. Davis last night. The last minute sub, all that kind of good stuff. The guy moved up from like 122 pounds to 130, and then fought a guy that weighed in at 142 pounds when fight time came. Listen, I'm not into these. Sorry about this. People are going to get upset about this. But these chubby guys, Adrian Broner, Mr. Davis, these guys don't discipline themselves. They don't go the whole 9 yards to be professional fighters.
No, they don't. In between fights, and they only fight about 2 times a year. And that's my knock on Javante. I want to like him, but he only fights 2 times a year. I want to see him fight more. Anyhow, is that they do balloon up. They don't stay in fighting shape. And then they have to cut a lot of weight to get in. Now, last night against a guy like Hugo Ruiz, he was able to go in there and look impressive and blow him out. But if you get him in there, say Javante tries to like still mess around at 130 against Miguel Berchelt, you know, Alberto Machado, you know, people of that nature, even though Machado didn't do so hot last night, those are more serious A-level fighters, right? So you got to be careful there.
Okay, so what's happening in hour number 2, Johnny Sig?
Hour number 2, we're going to be talking UFC. We're also going to preview tonight's fight. Jose Ramirez going against Jose Zapita. Should be a good one on ESPN Plus from Fresno, California. My man, Ray Beltran, and the undercard. Ray Beltran, most famous for being Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner. You're tuning to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Johnny Sig will be back in hour number 2. Of course, this is the 2-hour Sunday edition. Live on Sports Byline and Sirius XM Satellite Radio Channel 211. Of course, Ring Talk Live Worldwide comes to you from the Sports Byline Studios in the city by the Bay, San Francisco, California. Of course, live Saturday and Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific time, right here on the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Open phone lines all around the world as Larry Merchant joins me in a couple of minutes. 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. Check it. You're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Tower of Power to the break.
Listen, girl, let me tell you what you got to do. TCB so mellow, nobody can get through. When he asks you, do you love him? Smile and kiss his teeth. Walk away and twist your hips. Make sure you keep him weak. Don't let nobody take care of your business better than you do. Do what he won't, give him what he wants. Respect will come to you, and you can hold your man.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security.
003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
How did I get up from the knockdowns? I don't know.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know. Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Stay on the scene.
Godfather of Soul, baby. We're introduced the retired HBO Godfather himself. Talk about Mr. Larry Merchant. Larry, very good morning to you, California time.
Back at you.
Wonderful day. As far as boxing is concerned, man, California seems to be hot and happening, and we have 3 cards in 2 days.
Yeah, I don't recall anything quite like it, but California is a hot spot for boxing, and there's another one actually this afternoon. One of my favorite young fighters,
Mr. Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. Jose Cepeda and Jose Ramirez.
And so all that's good.
You know, in the raisin capital of the world, I remember 12 years old, I got my first ticket. I was driving a motorcycle in a raisin field, and the highway patrol chased me down a raisin field. That was a nightmare. Anyway, I don't think I went.
You were raising hell at 12 years old in the raisin field.
In the raisin fields in France. That wasn't bothering anybody, man. Anyway, I'll never forget. That was my first. That's when I realized I wanted to become a cop because I didn't want to be a jerk. In other words, I wanted to become a cop to treat people nice because I realized the way I was treated when I was growing up by policemen just wasn't cool. But that's a subject for another day. Bottom line is fights on ESPN today. Of course, Ashanti Davis last night on Showtime. And I wasn't all that impressed with him. Not only was the opponent last minute and handpicked and all that kind of good stuff, but, you know, I'm not down with guys that are not true to their game. In other words, Ashanti Davis goes up to 155, 160 pounds between fights. He's a chubby guy, much like Adrian Broner. When I think those chubby guys, they just don't, when it comes time to push or shove, they just sort of like wilt because they don't have the conditioning. They're chubby.
Well, certainly at 130 pounds, at least in the weigh-in, he looks strong to me, not chubby as he does to you. But you're right that sometimes the young fighters who are successful and able to manipulate weight, when they have to move up in weight, we find out that they can be a different fighter and very vulnerable. And Davis has obvious potential opponents in Lomachenko and Garcia and the likes of those guys. And he'll be kept away from them for as long as possible.
Larry Merchant, our guest, we're talking boxing, of course, and MMA for the next couple hours on the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Looks like Anthony Joshua and Jarrell Miller is set now. It's going to be, looks like it's going to happen probably in New York City, MSG. You surprised that he's coming across the pond?
No, I think that it's a kind of a test case to see how much of an attraction he's here, and that might decide where an eventual fight with Wilder would be, because the U.S. still generates the biggest bucks on pay-per-view.
Why is it you just happen to mention only Mr. Wilder, considering Mr. Fury dominated Mr. Wilder in their first fight? How come you came up with the Wilder match and not the Fury match? Are you
because I'm talking about why he would get his first exposure in the U.S., and that's in case Wilder is the next or maybe a future opponent. Mm-hmm. I agree about Fury being potentially his next opponent, but that obviously would take place in Britain.
Well, now that Wilder and Fury, they're talking about Wilder and Fury. According to what I'm hearing, this is going to happen maybe in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena sometime in May. It would be like May, the second or third week of May. And I don't know. Canelo's going to be in Vegas in May, isn't he?
I think that Cinco de Mayo is conceded as his weekend, and he is, if not the heavyweight champion on the scale, the heavyweight champion at the box office in terms of generating huge revenues on pay-per-view.
Yesterday, the fights were on DAZN and Showtime as well, but DAZN had a long, lengthy card. You and I call it more boxing than you can handle. But it was a lot of boxing, pretty good fights, and this idea of paying $9 a month, I'm down with the $9 a month or the $15 a month if you want to combine the ESPN card as well. But the $15 a month, when you think about it, if you bought Canelo just twice a year for his pay-per-views, that'd be $160, $80 each pop. So actually, boxing fans are saving money with these apps.
True that, but I haven't made the move yet. I haven't been inspired. I'm sure I will.
That's okay. Sooner or later, everybody gets hooked on it. I didn't think I was anti-app until DAZN started showing all those fights last year, and I said, man, this is sort of like heroin for me. And they kept feeding me all that heroin, and I got hooked. And ESPN Plus, of course, coming back with pretty good fights.
Well, listen, I have Netflix and Amazon Prime and a worldwide site called HMZ. With series and movies from all over the world. So it's not like I'm not hooked in. I just haven't been inspired yet to go to the new boxing site.
How good is Jose Ramirez, the guy that's fighting on ESPN? How good is he?
I think, he's a damn good action, crowd-pleasing fighter. I think, B, it's conceivable he may be one of those exceptions of an aggressive warrior-type fighter who knows how to do it well enough and punches to the body well enough, but also can jab his way inside, that he might be the exception. He might be one of those guys who is capable of beating the boxer guys and becomes a star.
Larry, let's just change subject a little bit. Talk about the punches that were thrown this week at the head of the Washington Post. I'm talking about, because I'm a journalist, you're a journalist. We realize that in darkness, democracy dies. This is no doubt about it. I'm maybe stealing a quote from the Washington Post. But, this week they tried to the National Enquirer tried to blackmail Jeff Bezos. That's probably the most bizarre of all the crap that's come out of Washington in the last couple of years. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, and Bezos stood up to him.
Yeah, well, I got to say, billionaires going after each other, that's the greatest heavyweight championship.
No doubt about that. Now, I'll ask you one more political question. Are we going to have another government shutdown this week? Your opinion?
Gosh, I don't know. I've been reading about negotiation going on between Republican and Democratic Congress people. So maybe there will be some kind of solution where everybody can take credit for a victory. But I don't think I've achieved expert status yet in political forecasting.
I've been watching Tyson Fury from his training camp somewhere in Europe, and he looks phenomenal. I mean, he's trimmer, he's sharper, he's really focused. He's going to be better than he was in that first fight. I'm telling you, Deontay Wilder's not going to have his hands full. He's going to have his hands tied.
I wouldn't bet on that. Okay. I think that getting knocked down and almost knocked out the way he was has inspired him, and that's a good thing. You know, he's still coming down from weighing way up in the 300s. Mm-hmm. He weighed around 250 plus for the Wilder fight. Maybe he'll come down to 240, 245 and be in the best shape he can be in for a rematch, because he's going to have to.
Godfather, but he only made 2 mistakes in the entire fight. I mean,
well, I'm sorry, Pedro. When you get knocked down twice, and once it looked like you were knocked out, that's all it takes. You could win every other minute of the fight. So he. You know, and I think that's going to, in some way, motivate Wilder as well. Not just in preparation for the fight, but in the fight, that he knows he can get to this guy. So it works both ways.
You know, I've been in fights where I've made mistakes and got clipped and realized, damn. You know, you just make mistakes, and if you can get by them and you can still win, you're probably not going to make that same mistake again. So what I'm trying to say is I really think Tyson Fury is going to be the favorite going in here. I think that the odds makers will say that he's a favorite. I think it'll be a slight favorite. I think the fight will be close. And when the fight goes down, as was their first fight, it will be a tremendous event as far as heavyweight boxing is concerned. And right now, we need heavyweights to step up and show that the mantle of boxing, the heavyweight championship of the world, is still something that deserves to be recognized unlike any other title in sports.
Well, if the rematch is 90% as good as the original fight, it'll still be a hell of a good fight.
You're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. You're inside looking to the world of boxing and MMA. My name is Pedro Fernandez, of course, on the line from Southern California right now, the godfather of the retired HBO godfather, Larry Merchant. And Larry, I got to ask you, does Joshua and Jarrell Miller, does that do anything for you?
Actually, no. As a fight, as an event, as a build-up toward an eventual collision either with Wilder and or Fury, I get it. It's part of the build-up, but the fight itself appears to be an 8-1 or 10-1 proposition for Joshua.
Good point. Godfather, have a great Sunday afternoon. Say hello to the godmother. And check this out. Rob Brandt's coming back February the 15th on ESPN. Of course, he's the WBA 160-pound title holder, and I think you should keep an eye on him. He is the dark horse at 160.
Agreed.
All the best. That is Larry Merchant, folks. The Hall of Famer himself, live on the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Dan Patrick's channel, baby, 211. Of course, my name is Pedro Fernandez. I am the undisputed heavyweight champion of the Radio West, defending that title every Saturday and Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm right here on Sports Byline. And don't forget, I've got a couple other shows I'm involved with. That's right. The Johnny Taco Audio Magazine, Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Pacific time, and No Holds Barred, Pro Wrestling and MMA live on Sports Byline and Sirius XM Satellite Radio Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Next up, we bring in one of the godfathers of MMA. I'm talking about Mr. Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Next on Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
You're irritating me now.
Baby!
turn loose. All right. Baby, give it up. Turn loose.
Valentine's Day is brutal on us guys. The pressure to buy the perfect gift is intense, right? Flowers are always the right call, but here's where it gets dicey. If you show up with produce department flowers that smell like green onions, you're toast. Same with sending stale flowers plus an upsell balloon from some flower giant website. The bouquet is the ticket. That's short for bouquets, and these flowers are bouqueting awesome. Look, there's a huge difference between flowers from the bouquets and the others, and trust me, she knows it. Bouquets delivers spectacular flowers cut fresh from the finest farms in the world. They even have farms on the side of a volcano that produce the most amazing flowers ever. Bouquets are picked fresh and shipped direct, so they stay fresher longer. And Bouquets cuts out the middleman, so you save big time. Be a hero this Valentine's Day with flowers from the Bouquets. Go to Bouquets.com. That's BOUQS.com and enter the code RON for 20% off. Yeah, 20% off when you enter RON at BOUQS.com.
Attention business owners. Now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for their business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now, so please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Indeed knows it's hard to find qualified candidates when you're hiring.
It's like finding a unicorn.
But when you post your job on Indeed, it's easy to find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+ years experience, acute care certification.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screener tools that help you find your most qualified applicants.
Whoa, an entire short list of unicorns.
Now, get a $50 credit to give your first job posting premium placement at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, quality standards, and usage limits apply. Additional terms online.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
We have a new heavyweight champion of the world.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Check it, 40 minutes past the hour. We take you from the retired HBO godfather Larry Merchant to the current godfather of MMA and pro wrestling. I'm talking about Dave Meltzer. Now, Dave, you do realize you've been around a long time for me to call you godfather, right?
Yeah, I do realize I've been around for a long time, yeah.
We both have. I mean, let's be honest. We're both around. I'm 61. You're like 58, 59 now, right?
59.
Exactly. I mean, time is flying, man. Anyway, let's talk pro wrestling. What's up with the story with the Kenny Omega? Has he got this new wrestling thing? Is he the vice president or something of a new wrestling group?
Yeah. It's All Elite Wrestling, and he's one of the executive vice presidents. There's 4 executive vice presidents, which are Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. And their first show is going to be May 25th in Las Vegas. And they did a couple of press things so far, and Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho are 2 of the real big signings of the company. Yeah.
Are you going to be there May 25th?
I'm going to be there May 25th, and Omega and Jericho is the main event, by the way.
You know what? I'm going to come down for that because I think that pro wrestling's taken a step back to old school wrestling, just to a certain extent. Some of the attitude of All Elite Wrestling and Major League Wrestling is not the WWE style, and I clash with that WWE style because I'm more into kayfabe. Why? I'm a Roy Shire disciple.
Yeah. This will be Very athletic brand of wrestling for sure, because that's what they're looking for. But they're definitely trying to do a very sports style of pro wrestling, because the owner, Tony Khan, is a sports analytics guy, and that's kind of what he's trying to put together with pro wrestling.
Is pro wrestling enjoying a bit of a revival right now? I mean, are the WWE numbers tremendous on their network? Are they enjoying it?
No, I wouldn't say. In fact, if anything, it's a weird thing, because it's the number of fans that watch regularly is falling, but the number of fans who are willing to spend a lot of money is stronger than it's ever been, in the sense that it's less fans, but they're much more willing to spend money on the product than any time in history. So economically, WWE is doing phenomenal, but a lot of that has to do with TV rights. Mostly due to TV rights. But as far as like live attendances and stuff, no, not really. Although there are pockets of things that are good. The Royal Rumble did do 32,000 paid and 40,000 in the building a couple weeks ago for WWE, so that was impressive.
You and I are both journalists, and we've been threatened in our times. Are you surprised that WWE stuck with that contract with Saudi Arabia after they whacked the guy from the Washington Post?
I'm not surprised at all, because I have no faith in morality when it comes to professional wrestling. Or
business.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised. But it wasn't far from their finest hour. That's for sure.
You know what? Not too much stuff affects me, but what they did to that reporter, that was chilling. And most of America doesn't know. I mean, they chopped them up into little pieces, alive.
Yeah, horrible. Horrible. And it was obviously premeditated, and obviously they were trying to lure him in. I mean, yes, it's absolutely horrible, and it's horrible to do business with them. I mean, but WWE did. And it's a lot of money. I mean, it's enough money that you kind of have to sit there and think. But, I did a class in Stanford about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago. And this subject came up. And when I said, look, they're getting $35-40 million per show on this deal, and it's kind of like everyone's taken aback, and it's like, and they go, what would you do? And they all thought, but in the end, pretty much everyone agreed that they would have pulled out of the deal.
Okay.
And I would have for sure, but, I'm not WWE, and WWE, it's like, in their mentality, it's going to blow over, and they got 2 shows a year, and they got a 10-year deal, and it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and so they took the deal.
Okay. Where does Major League Wrestling fit in with the All Elite Wrestling coming to light?
Major League Wrestling's around. I mean, it's I don't know where it fits in, but they're not enemies or anything like that. I mean, All Elite's not trying to make enemies with anybody, and Major League Wrestling and All Elite, there's going to be some talent that works for both groups. Not a lot, but there'll be, at least 4 guys that I know of that'll be working for both groups.
That was the glory of the territories, was that we got a heel here for like a month and a half, a year, and he moved on to another territory. I mean, that's the problem with the WWE, Dave, is I don't want to see John Cena anymore.
Well, yeah, the television overexposes guys when you get 2 hours or 5 hours of television a week. And these guys are on every single week.
For 20 years.
Yeah. Well, John Cena was John Cena's 16, 17 years, yeah.
Speaking of Cena, is his future in Hollywood, can he act in your mind?
I would not say he's a great actor, but he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, he's a golden boy right now. You know what I mean? In Hollywood, it's like, you don't have to be a good actor if you're a golden boy. It's like he's got a good look, and they've decided, because of Dwayne Johnson going from wrestling to being a big star, that he's going to do the same thing. That's the decision, and so he's going to get a lot of shots, and he's going to become somebody. He's a real celebrity outside of wrestling now.
Dave Meltzer's our guest, the man that created the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Of course, he has the Wrestling Observer radio show that his buddies do, Brian Alvarez, and these kind of good guys. And of course, they come on at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's Sundays right here on the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. And they are daily on Sports Byline Monday through Friday. When is that, noon?
Noon, yeah.
Yeah, noon. Is that
noon Pacific?
Noon Pacific time, all right.
Yeah, 9 a.m. Or 3 p.m. East Coast time, yeah.
Talking wrestling actors, I thought Dave Bautista did a good job as a PI, an ex-cop or something in a movie a couple of years ago. Played a tough guy, but I thought he did a good role. And is he got a future in Hollywood?
Oh yeah. He's a genuine star. The Drax character, that made him. He's somebody, and he's getting constant roles. Yeah, he's doing very well there.
Okay,
he's good. He's good. He's better. He's better than I expected him to be. I mean, it's not to say I didn't expect him to be good, but he's got a real subtle, low-key sense of humor that really works on the big screen. Like when you saw him in the Drax role, like just little things that he does. I think he's like great in that role.
Were you surprised that Low-Key finally did a job on Major League Wrestling for Tom Loeffler? I saw that coming, but Low-Key is not the most agreeable guy when it comes to taking.
Yeah, he's not, but I think he liked Tom because Tom's legit, because Tom's a former UFC fighter. So I think that was the story there. Yeah.
Okay. Andy from Vegas shoots me a text here. He says, if ROH, Major League Wrestling, and All Elite Wrestling shared talent, they could probably eclipse the WWE. Is that
you can't eclipse the WWE. There's too much money involved in those television deals. You can't do that. The idea has to be that you're going to run. You're going to have a profitable company on your own. But beating WWE, you could beat them in certain things for sure. But beating them overall, the only way to beat them overall is to get TV ratings up to their level and get a TV deal up to their level, and that's not going to happen. At least in the short term. In the long term, anything's possible.
Ronda Rousey, is she a success in the world of wrestling entertainment?
I think she's a huge, huge success, yes. But she's not going to be around full-time much longer. She's staying full-time maybe April, May, maybe just April. And then, what her role will be going forward, that I don't know.
Doesn't that depend on how much they want to cut a check for her? Because if they told her...
It's not a money thing.
No?
It's not a money thing with her. She's got a life, and she's got ideas on what she wants to do with her life. And wrestling, she goes in phases. Like her one phase was judo. And then when she decided she was done with judo, she was 21 years old when she stopped judo, or actually 22, and never looked back. And she could have won a gold medal in the Olympics in 2012 if she had, or it was 2012 or 2016.
Yeah, 2012.
2008.
She bronzed in 2004, didn't she? Was it 2004 or 2008? Man, we're getting old.
Okay, she was bronze. She was bronze in 2008, so she could have won a gold in 2012, and she didn't even go for it. And then she went into MMA, and she did several years there, and she finished, and she's never going to go back to MMA. And now the next phase is pro wrestling. The next phase after that is raising a family on a farm. Okay. That's her life.
Henry Cejudo's, I think he deserves the penthouse. He's getting the shaft instead. What's up with that? I mean, he destroyed T.J. Dillashaw, whether you want to say it was a quick stoppage or not. It was 32 seconds. T.J. looked like he had taken a few shots and made his body go limp on a couple of occasions there. But Cejudo does not seem to be getting the respect from the brass. Did they not expect him to win? Was T.J. supposed to just walk over him?
I think they expected T.J. to win, but you can't go in with it. And whenever you've got talented guys in a fight, anything can happen in MMA because the gloves are the small gloves are unforgiving, and it's a combination of things, and there's a lot of openings that happen. It's not like in boxing, you can predict who's going to win with a lot more accuracy than in MMA.
Of course.
And just because MMA, it's an amalgamation of styles, whereas boxing is just boxing. But yeah, I mean, you had to know that Cejudo had a shot. Cejudo's really talented, and he's
gold medalist.
Gold medalist in wrestling. His stand-up is great. He's in incredible condition. He beat Demetrius Johnson, who nobody beat for years.
Yep.
Demetrius Johnson's a legitimate all-time great, still in his prime, and he beat him.
No doubt about that. Dave Meltzer is our guest, of course. The Wrestling Observer newsletter is available online, and they can send it to your door as well. Dave, can you give me the address on that?
Yeah, online it's www.wrestlingobserver.com, and there's information on the front page on just look at the Observer information and tell you how to subscribe, or you can subscribe to P.O. Box 1228, Campbell, California 95009.
The UFC was live last night from Australia. The main event fell out the last minute, but still pay-per-view. You had to. I mean, anybody had to pluck down $80 to watch it. It had to feel a little bit funny.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't a strong pay-per-view as far as depth and everything like that. And it was just really a so-so show to me too. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just so-so. The prelims on ESPN were actually quite good, but. Yeah, and I didn't expect it to do big business on pay-per-view either. So, but they'll do a lot better business in 3 weeks with John Jones and Anthony Smith and Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman.
Got a text from Pleasant Hill, California. Any local wrestling coming up in Northern California?
God, there's a show in San Jose tonight.
Tonight? Where at?
Yeah, I don't even know. I just know it's in San Jose. I haven't even asked. But there's shows in Daly City all the time. There's shows in the Bay Area on a regular basis as far as independent stuff goes.
How do they find that out? The Wrestling Observer newsletter?
Not so much the newsletter, because I usually don't cover the independents that closely. But I would say go to All Pro Wrestling's website, and you can get because they're like the leading indie that runs in this market. So that would be a place to go as far as the Daly City shows. I know there's a big Daly City show coming in a couple weeks.
Who is the best wrestler? I'll leave you with this last question. Who is the best wrestler in the world right now, and why?
It's hard to answer with one. I would say that the top tier are Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I would say Will Ospreay right up there with them. Those are the key guys, but it's hard for me to say one. Kenny Omega is incredible in big matches, as is Okada. They all are. Tanahashi as well. But those would be the standout guys right now.
Can you tell me in about 30 seconds what makes a 6-star match?
It's got to be better than all but 3 matches I've ever seen in my life. If I see a match and I say this is one of the 3 best matches I've seen in my life, that's a 6-star match. I've seen a lot of matches.
Once again, folks, he is the man that created the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the Wrestling Observer radio show, which is heard weekdays, Monday through Friday at noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern time, live here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel. Dave Meltzer, say hello to the wife. We'll talk soon.
Okay, cool.
The great Dave Meltzer on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the Tax Helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, Rick Tittle here. You may know me as the Sports Talk host. I can talk about all sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, rollerball. But this time I'm here to talk about pain. If you have pain in your knee or your back like I do, then you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. If Medicare is your primary insurance, then you could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
Well, you have to talk to my lawyer on that one.
The great Don King, of course, the world's greatest promoter. Talked to him a fortnight ago. His health is not great, living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Of course, 87 years old. No, not the most mobile guy in the world, but he's got his own jet. How do I know that? His neighbors. Remember a few years ago I had it on the show where his neighbors were all pissed off because Don King had a jet and he would fly into Fort Lauderdale into some private airfield like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and his jet made all kinds of noise. It was like 15 years old. Oh, it was crazy. Anyway, they dogged him to death. Finally, I think he bought another plane. But Don is not traveling much these days. I'm hoping to get down there sometime this month in February 2019 to spend some time with the world's greatest promoter, Mr. Don King. Love him or like him, hate him, whatever you want. Bottom line is, he is a integral figure in the world of sports. There's no doubt about it. Since 1974, of course, when he burst on the scene with the Rumble in the Jungle. I mean, Ali and Foreman. When you come out with your very first fight as a promoter to promote Muhammad Ali and George Foreman in Zaire, Africa, I mean, you're calling some shots. You're pulling off the ultimate from the get-go. So for Don King, it was like, how do you beat that one? How do you beat that one? Well, guess what? For like better than 40 years, he continued to surpass even himself. In the end, of course, the greatest promoter in the world, like him or hate him, he threw some great shows. Of course, lots of title fights, lots of great personalities, and then there was always the world's greatest promoter himself, Don King. And I can never forget his ad nauseum like press conferences where I would sit there and I'd have to sit there for like 45 minutes to an hour and listen to him just pontificate and go on and on and on and on to get in a few questions. But I got in my few questions. He treated me, Don King treated me and my daughter real well. My daughter Jacqueline, he treated us both like we were family. So we got nothing bad to say about Don King. A lot of people do. I'm not one of them. You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Ring Talk Live Worldwide continues. Hour number 2 on sportsbyline.com. Of course, Sirius XM Satellite Radio. Wow, the iHeartRadio Network. All kinds of different internet platforms, man. But the bottom line is, go to sportsbyline.com. Listen to us live 24/7, of course, on iHeartRadio as well. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Still to come, hour number 2, talking mixed martial arts and Muhammad Ali Unplugged. Hour number 2 of Ring Talk Live, only on Sports Byline and Sirius XM Satellite Radio.
800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the West Coast, it's time for Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Fascinating.
For over 30 years, and still, your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
What the hell's going on out here?
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization.
Yeah.
And now, live from the Ring Talk studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! And Foreman is as poised as can be!
Pedro Fernandez.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos, ladies and gentlemen. Emanating from the Sports Byline Studios in San Francisco, California, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide, your inside look at the world of boxing and MMA. This hour we'll hear from the greatest, that's right. No, I'm not talking about Johnny Signorella. Yeah, we'll hear from him too, but he's not the greatest. Actually, the greatest is the one, the only, Muhammad Ali, Unplugged at about 40 minutes past the hour. That's why Ali will spend some time with us this hour. We're also talking MMA and the UFC, of course, as well as boxing with Johnny Sig, the aforementioned Johnny Sig. So we've got open phone lines all around the planet. 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or the guilt-free, no commitment text line. Text the studio. 415-275-1613. That's 415-275-1613. Well, if you bought the UFC pay-per-view last night, you got screwed. I mean, straight up, that was a ripoff, folks. $80, you got to be kidding me. 45-year-old Anderson Silva in a 3-round main event. I thought the UFC had rules that for their televised main events, they were always 5 rounds, no matter what. No matter if the title was on the line or not. But last night, they dropped it to 3 rounds. Why? Because Anderson Silva, of course, the 45-year-old ex-Spider-Man, got lit up like the White House Christmas tree. He deserved to lose. Hopefully, he'll walk off into the sunset where he deserves to be. Had a great pass, but the pass is not now. Time for a new era. Talking about Henry Cejudo, baby. Of course, UFC 125-pound champion who knocked out the UFC 135-pound champion TJ Dillashaw a fortnight ago. We'll hear from Henry. We'll talk about Henry's dilemma. He's sort of like a guy that they're trying to eliminate his job. They are eliminating his weight class. Straight up, you're tuned to the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and of course, this is Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
I was a young boy, said put away those young boy ways. Now that I'm getting older, so much older.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
We have a new heavyweight champion in the world.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Valentine's Day is brutal on us guys. The pressure to buy the perfect gift is intense, right? Flowers are always the right call, but here's where it gets dicey. If you show up with produce department flowers that smell like green onions, you're toast. Same with sending stale flowers plus an upsell balloon from some flower giant website. The bouquet is the ticket. That's short for bouquets, and these flowers are bouqueting awesome. Look, there's a huge difference between flowers from the bouquets and the others, and trust me, she knows it. Bouquets delivers spectacular flowers cut fresh from the finest farms in the world. They even have farms on the side of a volcano that produce the most amazing flowers ever. Bouquets are picked fresh and shipped direct, so they stay fresher longer. And Bouquets cuts out the middleman, so you save big time. Be a hero this Valentine's Day with flowers from the Bouquets. Go to Bouquets.com. That's BOUQS.com and enter the code RON for 20% off. Yeah, 20% off when you enter RON at BOUQS.com.
iHeartRadio, an app so powerful, it holds 20 million songs from 450,000 artists. Thousands of the best live radio stations, custom stations, and stations created just for you. It's anywhere and it's everywhere. Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is that easy. Download the app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
Now, back to Pedro Fernandez with the MMA Hour.
With the UFC being the 300-pound gorilla in the world of MMA, no doubt about that. I mean, they're their premier franchise. Call them what you want, but right now they are the New York Yankees, per se, of MMA. Well, they're trying to eliminate jobs. They have a 125-pound champion who defeated, of course, Demetrius Johnson, considered one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. He beat Demetrius pretty decisively to win that title. I'm talking about Henry Cejudo. And, of course, then he steps up in his next fight. He doesn't defend the 125-pound title. No, he does, but he defends it against the 135-pound champion who's dropping 10 pounds in weight. So the UFC has a blueprint that T.J. Dillashaw, the kid from Sacramento, California, formerly with Team Alpha Male, he's going to come down to 125 pounds. He's going to smoke out Henry Cejudo, and then they're going to dissolve the 125-pound division because, it ain't worth keeping around. There's not enough 125-pound fighters to make Dana White happy. Well, guess what? It didn't work out that way. Henry Cejudo came to fight, the 2008 Olympic gold medalist, a guy that's never taken too much punishment in his entire life because of the fact he was a wrestler and not a fighter. He's become a fighter of late, of course, since 2008, of course, turning pro, I believe, as an MMA fighter around 2010. But, he's got an outstanding record, and now he's a champion basically in two divisions. And now, of course, what they want to do to him, they just want to eliminate his job, and it's just not really cool.
White, when I spoke to, I had a meeting with him that Wednesday after my victory, and I'm getting no answer from him either. You know what I mean? There's a pink elephant in the room, and it's almost like, hey, I'm the champ, man. At least I should be told something at least, man. Out of a little bit out of respect, but it's still unsure of. One thing that they do want that TJ fight. Dana wants it, TJ wants it, we want it. That's kind of where everything's heading as of now.
Henry Cejudo, the 125-pound world champion, says he probably will clash with T.J. Dillashaw at 135 pounds. Johnny Sig, I got to bring in here. There's, of course, MMA fights are so hard to predict because so many different things can happen. But when you get owned like that and owned quick style, first of all, was Dillashaw a quick stop?
No, I don't think so, man. He was doubled over. He didn't look good. He looked very limp. I think it was a proper stoppage in rare fashion because nowadays they let these things go on too long. Now, I'd like to see that fight at 100 plus 135. I think they're going to do that next in the rematch.
Yep.
So, you know what? I got to give him all the credit in the world for Cejudo, class saying, hey, man, you came down to me. Let me go back up to you. I'm looking forward to that rematch. Let's see what happens. Obviously, Cejudo's got a big psychological advantage going in because, man, did he own him in that fight or what? He pushed T.J. Dillashaw down immediately, and that showed me right there, wow, this guy might be allegedly smaller, but, man, he is certainly stronger.
Dillashaw was going to try to move in another direction and defend the 135-pound championship against somebody else after getting knocked out in 25 seconds. What a ridiculous posture. Dana White brought him to his senses.
Well, I tell you what, Dillashaw afterwards, post-fight, was not very classy, making a lot of excuses, complaining a lot. Hey, man, you got beat, Whether you felt the stoppage was premature or whatnot, I mean, you got thrown around, and then once you got thrown down to the ground, you tried to get up, and you got knocked out, So that's what's up. I mean, moving forward, I think Cejudo rematch, put up or shut up. Let's see what you got. You made all these excuses. Show me what you got in the rematch.
UFC 234 was on pay-per-view last night. Oh, boy, I know everybody tuned in for this one because there was no intrigue whatsoever. I mean, not even the main event before it bounced out. Gastelum, of course, taking on the champion there at 185 pounds from Australia. That, it was supposed to be like Kevin Gastelum was supposed to go down there and be a dog. He was going to go down there and lose to Mr. Whitaker, but Mr. Whitaker came up with a hernia at the last minute. But the rest of the card, even if that title fight was on the bill, man, the rest of the card wasn't worth $80. Israel Adesanya, of course, taking out Anderson Silva with a 3-round decision. That was a main event. He won 3 rounds on 2 judges' cards and 2 rounds on another judge's card. And, of course, it's a bunch of no-names on the rest of the card. I mean, not one name whatsoever. $80, man. They put a gun to people's head last night, and guess what? They pulled the trigger.
Even if you had the entire card that was supposed to be last night, it was still pay per screw written all over it. We're getting better content on ESPN Plus right now from the UFC from this pay-per-view. Even on paper last night, if all bouts had gone through the way they were scheduled to go through, is that worth $80? No way. You made a great point, too, in the first hour about Silva. That fight being amended to 3 rounds instead of 5. Every main event should be a 5. At least, even if the fight wasn't that great, I mean, at least you get to see a figure like Silva, who, you know, I don't know how much more time we get to watch this man and enjoy his career, because like you said before, he's about 175 years old, you know, but at least stretch it out a little bit, you know, but at the end of the day, not a very lackluster, flat, complacent card.
$85, baby. $85. In fact, the fights were probably on ESPN and the Fight Pass. Here's what's up. Is it just corporate greed here? Because when I look at some of the other entities in the world of entertainment and sports entertainment, I hate to use that, put it together like that, but you got the world of wrestling entertainment. They charge like $10 a month to let you watch anything they put on TV or anything they do for $10 a month, whatever their charge is. Okay, the apps like DAZN's got it $9.99. They'll let you watch whatever they want as far as that's concerned. The same thing with ESPN Plus. UFC has got the UFC Fight Pass. They charge you $10 a month, and they still gouge you on the pay-per-view. I mean, what's going on there, Johnny? Is it just greed?
It's greed, and you don't even get a discount with the Fight Pass. I would totally have that, because I enjoy the WWE Network. For $9.95 a month, you get all their pay-per-views. It's amazing. And more
WrestleMania?
than itself, and it's fun. Yes, you get all of it, man. Yes,
yeah,
you get all of it, every single pay-per-view, which is absolutely fantastic. If the UFC did something similar, man, I'd be all on board. But all you get with the Fight Pass is undercards, man. We're talking like fight one of like 20 scheduled on that day. I mean, if you're diehard, sure, but I mean, is it really necessary? I mean, there's so much content on the preliminaries they show on even before pay-per-view. Say ESPN's had some preliminaries on yesterday, and then they had the full card on pay-per-view. It's a lot of content. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Fight Pass is definitely greedy, but we're talking about the UFC, which is probably one of the most greediest sports franchises in the history of sports franchises.
Well, considering the talent was only getting an average of 10 to 12% of the revenues, yeah, I would think so. That sounds like a plantation.
Yeah, absolutely. Slave driving. Homie.
Exactly.
Sure.
Speaking of slave drivers, he's not a slave driver, but I'm telling you, he's one rough customer. Cain Velasquez and Francis Ngannou going to hook up in this main event. Is that on ESPN Plus, or is that going to be on regular ESPN?
I believe it's on regular ESPN. Francis Ngannou, Cain Velasquez, going to be a good fight. Francis, an awesome striker. Velasquez, great all-around fighter. Hasn't fought in a while because of injuries and whatnot, but we all know him for taking out Brock Lesnar and, of course, Dos Santos in a rematch after he had lost to Dos Santos. I'm looking forward to this one Sunday, February 17th. Good one in the UFC.
Yeah, coming to you from the UFC, of course, from a place called Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix, Arizona. Talking Stick. Okay, I guess that's an Indian reservation, I would think. Anyway, Ngannou may be exposed as against Stipe Miocic as a guy that can't go the route. In other words, if he can't get you out of there right away, maybe not so good.
Well, yeah, I believe he's kind of one-dimensional, and if that one dimension doesn't work, we see this in boxing, we see this in a lot of facets in life. If you're a one-trick pony, and that one trick doesn't work, and things start going bad for you, tough, long night. Let's see what happens.
Okay. That entire card is going to be on ESPN. I just checked it. The entire card is on ESPN. In fact, the early preliminaries are on ESPN Plus. 1, 2, 3 fights, a couple of women's cards. Jessica Penny is going to be in the on the ESPN Plus card. And of course, the ESPN card starts with 1, 2, 3, 4 fights, and then they go to the main card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights. A lot of chicks involved, 2 or 3 chick fights, and chick fights are always ready to go. You know, I wanted to ask Dave Meltzer, how come, you know, women's MMA is so cool and so exciting, and women's boxing is so, now not all women's boxing, but Clarissa Shields can put a crack addict to sleep.
Oh my God, could she ever? No power, you know? And I see them out there, like, saying things on social media, like, how come we can't get paid like men and yada, yada, yada. It's like, girls, just go out there with passion, you know, not just directed towards her, all these girls. And I think the thing is, for the most part, all these girls, I should say, but for the most part, the UFC girls go out with passion. They're not feeling entitled. They want to make a statement. They want to say, hey, listen, we belong here. We could do this. And I tell you what, they certainly can, because I'm going to tell you, 8 out of 10 times, I'm entertained.
That's Johnny Sig on the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. My name is Pedro Fernandez. Open phone lines around the planet. You can challenge us, take us on, leave a comment, do what you want. But it ain't like the old days, is it? At KMBR, when the San Jose Mercury News ran that story on me, I said, people are scared to call Pedro. People are scared of me. I can't believe that. Johnny Sig, people scared of Pedro. Can you believe that?
Ah, come on now, people. Dial in.
I'm the biggest softy in the world. Yeah, right. You're tuning to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Check it.
I'm going to go home, hang out with my wife, my dogs, get the baby set up, and then we'll figure it out from there. I'm tired right now. I just want to go home and hang out, and
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
You're listening to the MMA Hour. Check it. Make it 25 and a half minutes past Sarah. Let's go to the text coming in here. Sandy from Phoenix wants to know if Freddie Roach is a world-class trainer, and what are the pluses and minuses of Freddie Roach as a trainer? Let me go to that before I ask Johnny Sig. The pluses are he's a good motivator, he's a good corner man, and he's had some health issues, and this guy's went far beyond those health issues. Go on. What do you think, Johnny?
Well, you know what? I think you nailed it right there. Plus, the fact of the matter is, if he gets a fighter that is willing to take risks in his aggressive nature, like a Pacquiao was early on, and so forth, when he works with the right guy, he can really bring out the best in him as far as being an aggressive fighter is concerned, a TV-friendly fighter, as Freddie Roach's style was as a pro. So, I think he's good in that regard.
Okay, but compare him to the Goldfather, Emmanuel Stewart, who brought fighters up from the grave. to the grave. In other words, when you carry a fighter from the amateurs through professional ranks, you build him up, you give him his amateur fights, you take him to the Golden Glove, you take him to the state tournaments, you take him to, the nationals, etc. The bottom line is, when you've got a kid and you take them from the crib to the grave, and I don't mean the grave meaning death, I mean to the end of their career, that's a significant statement.
Oh, 100%. You look at the work he's done with Tommy Hearns and other people back in Detroit. And then overall, like when people even hired him as a specialist, like Klitschko did, Holyfield at one point, De La Hoya, of course what he did with Klitschko and Lennox Lewis being, supreme heavyweight champions, learning how to fight tall and using that jab and be defensively sound and athletic. He taught those boys how to be athletic, and that was the most impressive thing to me. You know how I feel about Manny, man. Manny's one of my favorite boxing personalities of all time.
Let me tell. All right, I'll repeat this story. We're in Detroit, Michigan. Emmanuel Stewart's living in the house in which he lives now. Across the street used to be Diana Ross's house. Diana Ross of the Supremes. Now Leon Spinks, then world heavyweight champion, takes up residence in Diana Ross's old house because Diana moves off to Hollywood. So Leon's in the house. He's heavyweight champion of the world. Emmanuel's across the street. It's a summer afternoon, and they hear all this noise coming from Leon's house. All these, what's going on? Help me. So Emmanuel says, what the hell's going on? Emmanuel goes and gets a gun and goes to run across the street to help Leon Spinks, to help what's going on over there at the house. Emmanuel's wife snatches a gun from him, says, you ain't taking that gun with you. So she snatches a gun from him. Still, Emmanuel goes across the street. He sneaks around the back of the house. He looks in through the rear door, and there's Leon Spinks on the floor with his 270-pound wife on his chest, and her girlfriend is hitting him over the head with a frying pan.
What a mess, Manny don't play, dude, but what a mess.
Yeah, but you know what she said to Manny?
What's that?
Mother, you know what? You want some? And you know what Manny? You know what Manny said?
What's that?
I'm going home. I'm going home. He went back across the street and told his wife, yeah, they're kicking Leon's ass over there. I mean, they were beating Leon. So you wonder why Leon's all punchy. It's probably not from the boxing. It's probably from getting beat over the head with a frying pan.
His old lady, yeah, man. That's crazy.
All right, we've got Rob Brandt coming up. Oh, I take that back. Let's talk just for a second. The Zone's got Bellator MMA, and, of course, that's part of the app. So if you want to watch good MMA, there's Bellator MMA on the Zone, and that's part of your $9.99 a month, correct?
Yes, sir. You get about, I think, maybe 1 to 2 cards a month from Bellator, which have been great lately. A lot of fun there. So, yeah, $9.95 a month. You're getting 2 boxing cards at least on average, and 1 to 2 Bellator cards.
Okay. Let's talk about Rob Brandt, the WBA 160-pound title holder. I think he's a fantastic fighter. People say to me, you've fallen in love with this guy because he's an American and you're a Yankee and this and that. And that's not the case. It's not the case. Rob Brandt is a competent fighter, and of course, what he did to the Japanese favorite the last time out, of course, Bob Arum's 2012 Olympic gold medalist, although he was a bit limited, he did take them apart and win, I thought, all but maybe 1 or 2 of the rounds, if not winning all the rounds. Anyway, Rob Brandt is a guy that's in a position that win a couple of fights, he could be a superstar if he were to keep winning. Am I just dreaming here?
No, man, he's definitely, maybe people are sleeping on him at 160. You look at what he did to Ryota Murata, as you were talking about in the last fight. Murata was definitely like an up-and-coming prospect that had a lot of potential, it seemed, and accolades from the press and whatnot, and he dominated that fight, man. Good effort. He's got a fight coming up with Kashan Raganov, coming up the 15th of February, and Kashan is undefeated, so that's a good test there, I would think. The only time that Brandt lost was against Jürgen Brammer, right? And Brammer was in the World Boxing Super Series and competed at a very high level, meaning he's a good fighter. So he only lost to one really good fighter. So, I think I'd like to see him go. The problem is here that he fights on ESPN, and they don't have very many middleweights. The Zone right now is the hotbed of the middleweight division. So, for Brandt, does he move up or does he move down? I would think, if anything, he moves up and tries to chase someone maybe on ESPN territory. But, we see what we get. I think that he's definitely someone capable. It's just, can he get the right dance partner because of, leagues that we have with the Zone, ESPN, Showtime, Fox, etc.
He's not going to 168, not big enough. I don't believe that's. But, of course, Rob Brandt, and that's going to be ESPN, the regular ESPN, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time on the 15th. Now, that same day, Showtime is going to go with Mikhail Fox, and I don't even want to go with that first name. You want to try that one?
Which one are we looking at? You're talking about
Shurgadan Urgazalov, February 15th.
I don't even see this on my schedule.
That one popped
they
up
must
there.
Just announced that one.
They just announced anyway.
Okay.
On the same day, of course, there's a card on Fox. Take that back the next day. It's on Fox. Leo Santa Cruz and Miguel Flores. Leo Santa Cruz, is he a superstar? He's just a competent guy?
Competent guy. Again, going back to what we were talking about in hour number 1 about guys like Davis and whatnot. if these guys fought more, they have such great talent. That's why I'm hard on these kids, right? They have such great talent. If they stayed relevant in our households, meaning they show up on TV, they become household names. But they do good, then they fade. They go away for a little while. I need this kid who has a great talent in Santa Cruz. I need to see you fight more frequently, man. Once you fight more frequently, I'm going to support you for days. But this 2 times a year stuff, hopefully the Fox deal now negates that and makes these guys fight 3 times a year. We'll never get 4 times a year again, when you get to a certain level in the professionals. But give me 3 and I'm happy.
Omar Figueroa Jr. is going to be on the undercard, I think, versus John Molina Jr., a battle of juniors at welterweight. Who wins there, Johnny?
Figueroa, man. I like Omar. I think he's going to end up better than his brother. This kid throws a lot of punches, and he's tough. He takes the shot, and he's got some power. He's must-see TV when he fights. This kid is exciting.
Okay, ESPN Plus, the app is taking us across the pond, and I think this is sort of cool. As you can watch a British super featherweight title fight, of course, from the UK. ESPN Plus, February 22nd. They haven't got a time on it, but Sam Bowen versus Ronnie Clark. We don't know much about either guy, but that's sort of like where boxing got Marcus Queensbury got his roots and everything like that. But it's good to watch. I like international boxing, man. And of course, you get to see different crowds. You've got the English crowd, which is really into it. The Japanese crowd, they sat there on their hands while Mike Tyson was getting his head handed to him and showed no emotion. So crowds are different all around the world.
They are, and it's a world sport. And you said it right there. You might not know some of these people's names, but that's the purpose. It's to let you know these people's names by fighting frequently and getting on these platforms. ESPN and DAZN are doing a tremendous job in doing that, right? They're really pushing all types of cards, and I think it's great because you're getting exposure on up-and-coming kids and really what an event is like start to finish. Like we talked about in hour number 1, doors open to doors closing. That's fantastic to have that option.
Anthony Durrell and it was Andre Durrell. Was it Anthony Durrell that was damaged, or was Andre Durrell was damaged? Which one was the damage? Sort of like the Klitschko brothers with HBO. I can't figure which one out.
It was Andre. Yeah, he got beat up. I think who did it to him? Was Scott the guy at that point in time?
I have no idea, but he was really brain issues. Anyway, Anthony Durrell, he was a lesser of the two. He's the WBC super middleweight title holder. Is he worthy?
No, I'm over these guys. They had their chance, I believe, back in, I was following them heavily. I liked them for a while, both brothers. And it's hard to, separate them, like you said. Same thing we do with Charlos, or even the Klitschkos back in the day, But, I think at the end of the day, Anthony's a little bit better and more well-preserved. As we mentioned, his brother definitely suffered some injuries, back in the day. But I'm not too high on Anthony, no.
Speaking super middleweights, the same day, James DeGaulle and Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr., of course, his father was a bit of a character. In fact, I saw a picture of his father a couple years ago. He wears a monocle. You know what a monocle is? It's like one eyeglass that you put in your eye.
Yeah, man. He dresses
like Colonel Klink. Seriously, it's what do they call that? Cuddy, a monocle? So it's like Colonel Klink. I couldn't believe it. It's just one glass. Anyway, that's Chris Eubank Sr., a bit of a character, of course. His son's world class, but does he beat DeGaulle?
I like this fight because both these guys, I think, are at similar parts of their career right now, and it's a must-win type thing. Eubank is a good volume puncher. I like his uppercut usages and angle. I just don't know if he's got power. I've seen him recently where it just doesn't look like his punches are thrown with conviction, and instead they push. So I'm going to push for James DeGaulle here.
You're tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network, folks. These text lines hot and happening. I've got 4 or 5 texts in the queue. I'll get to them a little bit later in the show. Next up, we'll hear from the greatest. That's right. 2 versions of the greatest. Muhammad Ali, of course, not Cassius Clay. Don't call him Cassius Clay. Ernie Terrell called him Cassius Clay and paid dearly for it until his death last year. Ali put a whooping down on him he'd never forget. Bottom line is, we're talking boxing and mixed martial arts on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. And the text line. Scott Cuddy says, text us. 415-275-1613. That's 415-275-1613. You're tuned to Sports Byline. Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
We have a new heavyweight champion in the world.
Valentine's Day is brutal on us guys. The pressure to buy the perfect gift is intense, right? Flowers are always the right call, but here's where it gets dicey. If you show up with produce department flowers that smell like green onions, you're toast. Same with sending stale flowers plus an upsell balloon from some flower giant website. The bouquet is the ticket. That's short for bouquets, and these flowers are bouqueting awesome. Look, there's a huge difference between flowers from the bouquets and the others, and trust me, she knows it. Bouquets delivers spectacular flowers cut fresh from the finest farms in the world. They even have farms on the side of a volcano that produce the most amazing flowers ever. Bouquets are picked fresh and shipped direct, so they stay fresher longer. And Bouquets cuts out the middleman, so you save big time. Be a hero this Valentine's Day with flowers from the Bouquets. Go to Bouquets.com. That's BOUQS.com and enter the code RON for 20% off. Yeah, 20% off when you enter RON at BOUQS.com.
Attention business owners. Now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for the business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now. So please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
This Valentine's Day, toast under the Golden Gate with your first mate on a Hornblower dining cruise. Enjoy a romantic dinner on the bay as you watch the city lights twinkle. Your Valentine's Day dining cruise features onboard entertainment and delicious food and drinks prepared on board by Hornblower's talented local chefs. You'll experience exceptional service while cruising around the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz Island, and more. Reserve your table now at hornblower.com.
Now, more of the MMA Hour with Pedro Fernandez.
Having spent a decent amount of time around Muhammad Ali, without a doubt, he is like the greatest. I mean, without a doubt. Well, but, you know, there's been ups and downs for Ali, and there were times in his career, in his lifetime, where he couldn't make any money. He had to do a lot of motivational speeches and things like that. That's why Ali, the motivational speaker.
He's a world champion boxer, basketball player, track star, horse, even animals. I find out that this Mark Spitz, for an example, he's a world champion. But what made him the world champion was that he seemed to, at the right time when the pressure's down, at the last few yards, he can get that lead, or he's got enough left to make it. I fought Ken Norton, my last fight. The fight was even up until the last round, but I had something that he didn't have, although I'm much older, and that was the last-minute kick.
What's that last-minute kick? Is that something?
Just the stamina, the strength.
It's more than training.
The mental capacity to realize what's involved and how important it is to make your body do something that's really too tired to do. Your mind makes you do it. Mark Spitz, this Olympic track star was mentioning, he wasn't that much greater than all the people in the world, but sometimes he won by just that much. And the champion is just one who can come out at the last minute and close the show. As I say, the star closes the show. A 14, 15-round fight, and it's even, and usually this champion, you can depend on him to come through the last few seconds and find some energy.
Is that mental discipline? Is it discipline?
Not only that, it's mental and physical. His body's in physical shape to do it, plus mentally too. He's got himself in condition where both fellas may be, sometimes the will can outdo the skill. And sometimes a fella's will is stronger than the man who's actually better physically, and the determination and weakens the other man just to see him so determined. are afraid of George Foreman. They talk about how hard he hits. The world has been deceived. You listen to me now. I've never told you wrong. The man don't hit hard. He knocked Joe Frazier down 6 times. He got up 6 times. Joe King Roman, his Tokyo, Japan fight, the Puerto Rican champion, knocked him down 3 times. He jumped up 3 times. He knocked Ken Norton down 4 times. He jumped up 4 times. When have you ever saw the man say 7, 8, 9, 10, count his man out? When I hit Sonny Liston in the second fight, he stayed out for the count of 10. Zora Foley stayed out for the count of 10. Cleveland Williams stayed out for the count of 10. What few I have knocked out stayed down. Sugar Ray Robinson knocked him out for the count of 30. Joe Louis, Marciano, Jack Dempsey, Jack Johnson, Archie Moore as a child, they knock him out cold. So this man has never knocked nobody out cold. He's a bully. He's slow. He has no skill, no footwork. He's awkward. And I have been giving him a name. I named Floyd Patterson the Rabbit. I named Sonny Liston the Bear. And he shall be known as officially as the Mummy. The Mummy.
And why the Mummy?
Because he fights. When he's fighting, if you ever watch him in the ring, he drags like that after his opponent. And how's a mummy going to catch me? When you're fighting a mummy, you just keep a step ahead of the mummy. See? Yeah, just move on the mummy. No, mummy, I'm over here. No, mummy, I'm over here. Yeah, no, you're moving too fast. The mummy don't move that fast.
Do you ever get frightened before a fight? Do you ever get nervous before a fight?
I'm nervous, but not frightened. I'm nervous because I have a great insight on. I just don't see the audience. Every camera, I see millions of people. Like the Frazier fight was watched by 100 million people, which is 5 times the population of everybody in the United States. Just a picture arena with 1 million people. I imagine you couldn't see them all. And just think about 100 million and 100 million. And all those people and everything, that makes me nervous. Just the idea of me just being a humble fellow from Kentucky, got lucky in sports, and now here's the house, the fight was piped in a place like Thailand to the government house in Arabia, and the government officials took time off to watch the fight. And just for 2 men boxing, attracting so many people of all races and nationalities. In Hawaii, I understand, they stopped, closed all the factories, and the people, they set televisions on every street corner. People came out watching the fight on the streets, and every bar in America, every house, even traffic was still during that fight. In Madison Square Garden, 10,000 people couldn't get in, and just over 1 man, and just imagine all them people watching you. That makes me nervous until I get started.
And then no nerves at all?
My thinking is so superior, and my knowledge is so positive, and my logic is so wise until it clashes with the mentality, which is down here and I'm up there. So by me being so high, I can see more and see farther than you. And you're looking up at me saying, Ali, don't do it. Ali, please stop, make it hurt. And you're on a job making 60 to 70 pounds a week, or whoever this guy is. Never been out of the country, not known in his own neighborhood. Ali, don't do it. But I'm at such a high level until I don't think like you. I'm not like you. I say you, I mean the other person.
But you know why they say that. I mean, it's for the best possible reasons. Though.
They fear and they are wary. It looks dangerous to them.
That's
but
right.
It's not really that dangerous to me. No problem. This will be the biggest upset since Sonny Liston. And I think it is befitting that I go out of boxing just like I came in, defeating a big, bad monster that nobody could destroy. A hard punch. I'm the underdog. If he hits me, I'm in trouble, like the Sonny Liston fight. But I came back and I shook the world and I got Liston. Now it's 10 years since Sonny Liston. I'm meeting another big, bad, strong monster, knockout artist that beats everybody. Sonny Liston knocked out Patterson twice, and I was supposed to fall, but he didn't knock me out because he could hit hard, but he couldn't find nothing to hit. George Foreman knocked out Ken Norton, knocked out Joe Frazier. True, I didn't knock him out, but I'm so fast, I'm so hard hit, I'm so scientific. I'm a total different man from Frazier and Norton. Listen, David, when I meet this man, if you think the world was surprised when Nixon resigned, wait till I whip Foreman's behind. I'm telling you, David, I'm down to 215 pounds. Right now, I sat here weighing 215. I'm fighting weight already. I usually train 6 weeks for fight. I've trained 4 months for fight. I'm chopping trees. I've done something special. I've wrestled with an alligator. I've tussled
I believe you totally. I believe you completely.
I have tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Now, you know I'm bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. Porn. You got 1 minute? 1 minute. Porn goes like this. People say, what's going to happen? You meet Joe Frazier again. Here's how the fight's going to sound on the radio for those of you who can't afford to buy the expensive theater seats. And the fight goes like this. Ding, Ali comes out to meet Frazier, but Frazier starts to retreat. If Frazier goes back an inch farther, he'll wind up in the ringside seat. Ali swings to the left. Ali swings to the right. Look at the kid carry the fight. Frazier keeps backing, but there's not enough room. It's a matter of time. There Ali lowers the boom. Now Ali lands to the right. What a beautiful swing. And the punch lifts Frazier clean out of the ring. Frazier's still rising, but the referee wears a frown, for he can't start counting until Frazier comes down. Now Frazier disappears from view. The crowd is getting frantic, but our radar stations have picked him up. He's somewhere over the Atlantic. Who would have thought when they came to the fight that they would have witnessed the launching of a colored satellite? I don't pay no attention to what they say about me. All I do is just do what I have to do and get paid, and that's it. But I don't really pay no attention to the rules of boxing. I don't pay no attention. I defy all the rules. I've added pages to the book of boxing. I have this game as such a thing now until boxing promoters can no longer afford my shows. I have governments like Iran ready to put up $10 million for me to fight Joe Frazier. I have governments like Cairo, Egypt, wanting to put up $6 million with people like Ron Lau. I have countries all back throughout Zaire talking to Mobutu. He wants him back again. They'll put up $5 more for return with Foreman. When we talk about $10 million and $6 million and $4 million, this is unbelievable. And they don't expect to get the money back. They're promoting their countries and their ideals. So I've excelled so in this sport of boxing until Madison Square Garden is too small. Yankee Stadium is too small. The Houston Astrodome, the biggest promoters in the world is Americans, and Englishmen you can get for promotions cannot just promote me no more. You understand? So I've not only added pages to boxing, but added new sections to the boxing book.
Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me. But I didn't dance. I didn't dance for a reason. I wanted to make him lose all his power. I kept telling him he had no punch. He couldn't hit. He's swinging like a sissy. He's missing. Let me see your box. I hadn't started dancing yet. You can't say my legs are gone. You can't say I was tired, because what happened? I didn't dance from the second round on. I stayed on the ropes. When I stay on the ropes, you think I'm doing bad. But I want all boxers to put this in the page of boxing. Staying on the ropes is a beautiful thing with a heavyweight when you make him shoot his best shots and you know he's not hitting you. I would have gave George Foreman 2 rounds of steady punching, because after that he was mine.
October 1974, recapturing the world heavyweight title in Zaire, Africa, the Rumble and Jungle, the greatest. That's right, Muhammad Ali. Now, we go from the greatest to the greatest of 2018. What was the greatest fight moment of 2018? Roll it.
You know, he went on the road to beat Vladimir Klitschko in a fight. He was a 6-1 underdog. Here he is on the road against Deontay Wilder, looking for all the world like he's pulling another upset. There's a right cross that lands for Fury. Oh, God, down goes Fury! Mamma mia! Deontay Wilder has done it! Knocking down Fury about 12. He's up.
Can you continue?
Wow, he got up.
You want to go? Walk over there and come back to me.
Incredible turn of events here in the 12th. Serena really think Tyson Fury was going to get up? He did.
That is toughness, man. I can't.
He did.
And credit to Jack Reese for not stopping it. You know how many referees will get on my nerves and don't count when a guy goes down like that? Credit to Jack Reese for counting.
That's the best comment anyone's made all night. That's exactly right. Jack Reese comported himself perfectly.
Guys, I thought the fight was over when Deontay Wilder dropped Fury.
The rematch looks like it's going to be in early May, Las Vegas, Nevada, the T-Mobile Arena. Johnny Singh, is that what you're hearing?
That's what I'm hearing. It's kind of crazy because you got to realize that Canelo's going to be here Cinco de Mayo weekend, but they definitely want T-Mobile. I thought that flight was originally headed to the United Kingdom, but it looks like it's going to be here in Vegas. I cannot wait.
Okay, now with Anthony Joshua going to take a date at the Garden, of course, trying to test his American wares. Do they need to stack that undercard with big names, or is Joshua going to be enough to bring out the curious boxing fan?
For the American fan, yes, you got to stack this undercard heavy. Let's see the zone roll out with some of their names and some big signings they had recently, you know, when they signed some good middleweights and whatnot. Let's see them bring some heat, some fire to this undercard.
You're tuning to the Mighty Sports Byline broadcast, and we're talking boxing MMA, of course, live on only Sports Byline Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel, iTunes, Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com. Scott Cuddy says I got to stop. Can't do no more. Bottom line is, you are tuning to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Hi, Rick Tittle here. You may know me as the sports talk host that can talk about all sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, rollerball. But this time I'm here to talk about pain. If you have pain in your knee or your back like I do, then you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. If Medicare is your primary insurance, then you could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
And now today's Bob Evans foodie lesson, the need to belong. We tend to associate certain foods with members of our family, social gatherings, and people taking care of us, Thanksgiving and other holidays with family. When we feel lonely, we crave comfort foods to give us both comfort and security. For example, a college student away from home for the first time may crave comfort foods as a reminder of family. Evidence showed that people with positive family relationships were more likely than others to reach for comforting foods on the days they felt lonely. And now a word from Bob Evans.
You're the family chef, but with homework, practices, email, getting a good meal on the table is tough. Sometimes the best choice is the easy choice. Delicious Bob Evans mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, made with ingredients like real milk, butter, potatoes, and cheese. Bob Evans sides are ready in the microwave in 6 minutes, and they're the perfect complement to any meal. Once your family tries them, it'll be love at first bite. Get Bob Evans sides today in the refrigerated section at your favorite grocery store.
Bob Evans down on the farm.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
check it. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live worldwide on Sports Byline. Of course, my name is Pedro Fernandez. On the line from Las Vegas, Nevada is the undefeated Johnny Signorella. And Johnny, Bellator's got something happening on the Zone this weekend, right?
Yes, February 15th. You got a nice card there. Mataroni versus Katanov. And we just got through with the Grand Prix. You saw the Bader versus Fedor knockout, right? That thing was crazy.
No doubt about that. And, of course, wait, the Zone's not done. They got another MMA league going on the Zone as well?
Yes, some combates. I check it out every once in a while. Not bad, man. You know, it's rocking and rolling out there, though. It's a good filler in between the major Bellator and the major boxing.
Well, you know, those guys are striving to get on the main stage. I mean, they're hungry.
Well, that's what it is. And sometimes you catch some really good action when those guys are out there on the grooming stages, you know. They're hungry.
Is that the MMA equivalent of boxing after dark?
There you go. That's what's up. That's a great comparison.
Okay. Straight up now, we've got Bellator MMA, of course, and some other combate, whatever going on as far as the Zone's concerned. ESPN Plus has got a card next week as well. Of course, we're talking about boxing, man. My man, Rob Brandt. What's going to be the highlight this week of boxing in your mind? If somebody had to watch one particular event in particular, what would Johnny Sig recommend?
We might get it today with Jose Ramirez and Jose Zapata on ESPN in just a few short hours from now. Plus, as I was mentioning before, Ray Beltran, he's always fun for the most part. 90% of the time, that man delivers. 5 p.m. Pacific time, that's right. ESPN coming to you from the raisin capital of the world. I'm talking about Fresno, California. Johnny Sig, let him rip on the Ring Talk YouTube page. Yes, search us, Ring Talk Worldwide. You'll see archive shows and bonus features. Everyone, thank you so much for listening, as always. You're tuning to the Mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. My name is Pedro Fernandez. Until next time, don't forget, Ring Talk Live Worldwide, often imitated but never duplicated. 35 years of radio, what can I say? Defending that belt and knocking out all bumps. You're tuned to the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.